The Tigers wrap up the season with a fantastic finish at the state cross-country meet. We'll talk to the coaches and some key runners who helped the Tigers finish strong this season. And longtime Cedar Falls coaching legend Dick Markison officially retires as head swimming coach. Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm your host, AC Glassford. Thanks for joining us today. Today we take a look back at the magical season for the Cedar Falls men's cross-country team. Coach Troy Becker's Tigers spent the entire season ranked in the top 2, and that is where the Tigers ranked when they hosted hundreds of runners from across Iowa at the Rich Engel Classic. The Rich Engel Classic played host to 21 schools. The Tigers battled Dowling Catholic all season long for the top ranking in the state. Here we see senior Isaac Smith and junior Sam Schillinger leading the pack, with teammates Ethan Smith, Andrew Nurse, and Jake Hartman close behind. Sam Schillinger starts to widen out his lead on Isaac. Here's junior Josh Tim as senior Ben Hertz begins to close in. Sam Schillinger would take home first, followed by Isaac Smith in second, Ethan Smith in fourth, Andrew Nurse in sixth, Jake Hartman in eighth, Ben Hertz in 23rd, and Josh Tim in 28th. Cedar Falls would take the overall title, racking in 21 points. Nice job, boys.
The Rich Engel meet was a fantastic day. Cedar Falls Television being there and covering that event was a special thing for the guys and their families. And I've had a lot of great comments about how that was as they learned about it. But what was really neat was how well the guys ran that day. To put 5 guys, I think it was in the top 8 or 9 that day, and to have the team score that we have really was the lowest team score we've ever seen at the Rich Engel. I mean, there's 22 teams there, and you think about 22 different teams showing up with their best athletes, and you're able to put 5 in the top 8. It's a real credit to the talent of our team this year and the work that they did.
Winning the home meet, that's a big honor, and I was really happy that I could do that. I mean, obviously, you know a lot of people, and it's on our home course. It's a big meet. Everyone's looking forward to it. But yeah, it felt really good, to get out there and do that. But also help the team do well at our home meet, because we want to represent and show ourselves well on the home course.
It was great having CF dominate like that at our home course. Just showing the whole school what we can do on a good day.
The Tigers women's cross-country team joined a strong field at the Rich Engel Classic and came away with a solid third-place effort. The women would also have a good day at the Rich Engel Classic. Here we see junior Cassidy Christopher take the early lead. Cedar Falls Percussion Group tries to pump up the runners. Here we see runners Allison Zerke, Paige Cavalli, Madison Larson, and Cassidy Christopher. Brenna Kraft from Muscatine would go on to win the meet. Anna Hertz would be the top finisher for Cedar Falls, finishing 13th. Cassidy Christopher 21st, Paige Cavalli 22nd, Madison Larson 24th, Allison Zerke 25th, Carolyn Ross 51st, and Monica Wessels 61st. The girls ended up finishing 3rd overall behind Ankeny Centennial and Muscatine. Nice job, girls. After the Rich Engel Classic, both teams continued to run strong this season. The Tigers' men's and women's teams swept the Metro Honors at the annual Metro meet held at Bontrager Park in Waterloo. Both the men and women had a perfect score, sweeping the top 7 positions in each race.
We kind of expected that based on the talent we had, and you know, usually when you get into the Metro meet like that, it's, you know, there's not a lot of guys in the field. And Waterloo West, honestly, they're a very young team. They were actually us a year and a half ago. They had a lot of sophomores running varsity, a lot of very talented guys. They're going to be a handful the next 2 years. And when you have a pretty much dominant senior class like we have running against juniors and sophomores, you know, we would expect to do that. And I'm sure in the next couple of years they're going to look to do that to us. So it's one of those things where we did what we were supposed to do, I felt.
At the Mississippi Valley Conference Cross Country Meet, the Tiger men had all 5 finishers land on the first and second team All-Valley division. Isaac Smith was named the Athlete of the Year after finishing the course in 15 minutes 51 seconds. Teammates Sam Schillinger and Ethan Smith joined Isaac on the Valley Division first team.
It was absolutely amazing. You know, some of the runners, Sam and Ethan, and then in our division, a couple Linmar guys, Michael Mather and Ryan Murphy, great runners. Gosh, they've also got Gosh. But it was just amazing, you know, getting that honor. It was unbelievable. Just had a great race that day and was able to come out with the first place. But it was cooler seeing how well our whole team raced that day. I was just happy that I could help our team that day.
Seniors Jake Hartman and Andrew Nurse also finished strong, earning second team All-Valley Division honors. Junior Josh Tim was a Valley Division honorable mention. I had a chance to interview Valley Division Coach of the Year Troy Becker and a few of his top runners for a recap on their season.
Last year at state, when you finish 4th and you have 5 of your top 7 guys back, that creates a lot of excitement because you get the experience from the state, but you also know that the talent is there. Then it's also exciting to know that the type of guys that they are, they're going to work hard. So it pretty much, when you have talent that works hard, you know you're in for a good year.
So coming into this year, we were really excited, and we worked harder than we ever have before over the summer after track was over. We ran all summer, and I think we really got close as a team, even closer than we ever have before, which was a really fun experience.
A little bit younger last year, and we knew we were going to be returning a lot of key guys, so we knew that we had to work hard in that off season, and that, you know, this was our year, and that we could really do something this year because we had such great leadership from that senior class. So we had a lot of momentum from last year's fourth place finish at state, and so we just took that into this year.
We knew our team would be strong coming into this year because we had a bunch of young guys. 4 out of our 5 scoring in state were not seniors, so we knew we had some strength coming back, so we were excited about that.
Divisionals was pretty cool. You know, just that was definitely my best race I've ever run before. Breaking the school record was unbelievable. You know, it was just such an honor to know, you know, how many runners have been here before, and just for my name to be up there with all those guys that I've been looking up to for such a long time.
Districts, I would say, because I was up with Sam and Isaac and that was kind of what I was hoping all year for. So that kind of motivated me to run with them.
I think my favorite meet would have to be state, just because it's such a high intensity meet and it's the most competitive meet of the year, so you get to see everything that the whole state has to offer, and it's where you just go lay it out there, and it's kind of what you're working for all year, so you get to see what you can do at the final meet of the year.
Well, it was such a unique situation because you hope as a coach that you can have an elite guy, and if you're talking about first team All-State, top 10 guy in the state, you're very fortunate if you can have a guy like that. To have 2 guys at that caliber is amazing.
It was really nice having Isaac there to push me, because I mean, heading into the year, I didn't know, I wasn't really expecting that, because I didn't know Isaac would be right there, but that was a huge jump for him to make, and I'm happy he was up there with me, because I mean, it's always nice to have a teammate to race with that just makes you race harder.
Having a teammate running right there next to you just really helps with your confidence, knowing that you can do it. And Sam and I would push each other every race, and it was just great.
Well, anytime we can run at Bertzel Park, it's our home. The guys train there. They have a lot of confidence there. What I was really proud about on that district meet was we were running districts to be great at state. So we asked our guys to go out slower and more controlled, and even to the point where we said, hey, if a couple guys beat you that shouldn't beat you, don't worry about it. We're focusing on next week, which was state. And they executed that plan perfectly through the mile, and at that point we kind of turned them loose, and man, they took off. And when I saw the times from the district meet, knowing that we held back the first mile, that's when I knew that we were really ready to run well, because those were great times considering the conservative first mile that we ran on that day.
That was really exciting, some great competition. We had Linmar there, also Valley. They both had some excellent guys, Murphy, Mather, Trevor Kirk, and yep, those guys, some of the best in the state, and to run right up with them, it's pretty exciting.
We knew we had a pretty good shot at making it coming in, so we weren't as concerned with the individuals. We were more focused on the team race and pushing each other and competing with the other teams that were there, and it just so happened that we ended up qualifying all of our runners that ran that day.
From finishing 11th last year, I kind of knew, I had the feeling of what it was like to run up in that front pack, but I wasn't exactly right at the front, but I knew what it felt like and where I had to position myself this year. So when we started this year, I knew where I had to get, and I knew where I needed to be at throughout the race, and so that just, I felt a lot more comfortable this year with where I was, and I was relaxed during the race because I knew I was in a good spot.
I couldn't be happier with the results that we had. Everybody ran to their full potential that day, and we all competed like we can. And at the end of the day, we ran great. Dowling ran better. They got us that day. So, props to them. They ran absolutely out of their minds on that day, and they got the title for it.
I look at the state meet, and the guys competed so hard, and they all ran up to their ability for that day. As I told people many times, in sports you have to be great, but you also have to be a little bit lucky. The whole difference in the state meet is we had one guy that was ill that week, and Dowling had no guys that were sick. If they would have had a guy that was sick, we would have won state. And we had one guy who was not quite 100% because of an illness, but he went out there and he competed incredibly hard that day. And if he doesn't do that, we're not in the top 3. So looking back at it, all we talk about with the guys is all you can do is what you can do on that day. And our guys all ran to their ability or above on that given day. And as a coach, that's what you hope for. And it was so much fun seeing 3 guys earn all-state honors and the team get that runner-up trophy. A lot of work paid off right there, so it was fun.
Well, every day he just has such a great attitude. He makes running so fun. Many people just think cross-country, is just running, so kind of draws them away, but Coach Becker just is so motivating. He's just such a great character. He just motivates you every day, and he just makes you love the sport, and he just teaches you how to be a better person with that too, so he's kind of the best of everything.
I don't even know where to start. It's been absolutely amazing for 4 years. Just how much I've grown as not only a runner, but just as a person. Becker and Coach Hartman as well have taught me so many lessons. They taught me how to run and how to not freak out before every race. That's been big, but bigger than that, I think, was just the lessons on responsibility and citizenship and just having pride in your life have been huge lessons that I've learned from Becker and Hartman, and I think I'm going to take those with me wherever I go, regardless of what I do.
Well, for me as an individual, I was the top junior this year, so I want to come back next year and win the meet, but that's not going to be easy. I'm going to have to work hard in the off season. Everyone else behind me is going to get better as well, so it's just, I'm going to have to work hard to get it, but I think it's definitely within reach for me. And as a team, I think we're losing obviously a lot of good seniors this year and a lot of leadership with that, but we have those seniors, they're going to leave a mark, and all the younger guys saw what they did this year. And so I think we're going to have a lot more younger guys working in the off season, and we're going to have a young team next year. But I think we're going to have some guys that step up and work hard, and I think they're going to fill the senior spots, and I think we'll be back there. We'll make a run for it.
We're very young. I can't remember a year, in the last 10, where I think we were losing 11 of our top 15 guys. So there's a lot of concern but then also you have to reflect back on the fact that the reason you're losing 11 of the top 15 is because the senior class was so talented. If you take a step back, we won the freshman-sophomore divisional meet. So we have talent there, and we know we have talent there, and guys who know what it's going to take to be good. So my expectation is to come back and be one of the top 5 teams in the state again. Why not? Let's go. Let's work hard and see if we can do it.
The women landed Madison Larson on the second team All-Valley Division, as Anna Hertz, Paige Cavalli, and Cassidy Christopher were honorable mentions. I also had a chance to interview women's cross-country coach Don Williams and junior Allie Zerke for a recap on their year and their expectations for the 2016 season.
The last 2 years have been kind of a struggle for us. We've been rebuilding. This year, when it came into the season, we decided our goal needed to be just to qualify for state, because we'd been to state, Cedar Falls women, 21 out of 22 years, and then had 2 years in there where we just didn't quite make it in. We were 4th each time and only top 3 go. So our goal is to start that string back again, getting everybody qualified.
Last year, qualified for an individual, and I was excited, obviously, but it was definitely going to be hard to get used to running alone in that big of a race. But this year, kind of my expectations were to just push my teammates and help them to do as great as they could during the race and just get as high as ranked we could.
We are a young team. We have 2 juniors and 5 sophomores on our varsity, and our juniors, Allie and Cassidy, are both outstanding examples of leaders. They led by example. And one of the things that made this group special was the fact that they didn't have an order that they felt like they had to follow established. They felt good, and they encouraged each other by getting past and passing, and it really made us a lot better, because sometimes in the past we've had an order. Somebody feels, well, she's number 1, I'm number 2, she's number 3. This group took a lot of pride in passing each other and encouraging each other and congratulating each other, regardless of whether they were the top runners or not. And that just made us a lot better.
We obviously had to push everybody through practice and just kind of show how much we all wanted to be out there and get to state. And obviously we had some bars raised this year to get to state because of how the talent we had returning. So we just kind of had to be able to motivate our entire team and make everybody want to be there every single practice.
Probably the highlight of the season for both Coach Johnson and I. We're so proud of our girls. We had all 5 of our finishers finished under 20 minutes, which is way beyond our expectations. And then winning the meet too, winning the conference banner was quite a big deal for us. And yeah, everybody I think was celebrating a little that evening. We had a great night. I told the girls we made our goal, so we're going to go down there, we're going to relax and have fun, just do the best we can do. And by winning the divisional meet, they bumped us up to 9th place. We had been ranked 12th before that, and our goal was to finish better than what we were ranked. But we thought we were ranked at 12th at the time, because I didn't realize that wasn't the final ranking. So overall, we were happy with the way the girls finished at the end of the season. The fact that Allie was the only girl that had ever been on the course before had kind of an impact too, because it's a little intimidating. You're running with the best teams in the state, 15 fastest teams in the state, so there's no, it's not spread out. It's pretty much one big race all the way, and the girls just weren't kind of used to that. And we're a pack running team. They're used to having, being in contact with each other, and that kind of changed the perspective too of our strategy a little bit.
During a lot of the races, we would talk to each other and push each other and just kind of motivate each other to get in front of the girl in front of us, and then don't be afraid to pass each other either. So, I mean, it helps me to run with a pack and know that my teammates are right behind me, and if they pass me, I can just kind of follow behind them and let them be the leader for a little bit and just follow their lead. If you keep the spread low and you keep the pack up in the race, then it'll keep our numbers, once you add up the placements, it'll keep our numbers low so we can get a higher ranking. So it's nice to have like very few seconds in between everybody, and just kind of, if everybody's together, it helps us to run together as a team because we run together in practice and push each other, so it'll help us push each other through the race also.
We're going to raise the bar a little. Our expectations are going to be a little higher, obviously. I think I can speak for the girls. They would be very, very excited to have a shot to get up on the balcony of state. That would mean a top 3 finish. But I believe we have the talent returning, and like I said, 2 good freshmen coming in that finished 1st and 5th at the 8th grade state meet. Could be a factor too to help us out.
Senior year, I want to get into the lower 19s, obviously, and keep my team to moving and not have a set like standings. Try to bring every girl, or get every girl under 20 would be a good goal too.
If they can maintain that same mentality, that same selflessness of not feeling that they have to be in a certain position, or just that kind of free-for-all, everybody passing everybody. We'll have runners, hopefully we'll have runners that'll push our 5th, 6th, 7th runners to make them better. Because when someone's trying to pass you, obviously motivates you a little bit more to keep their spot. And I think having a couple more girls in the depth chart will help us tremendously. So I don't mean to speak for the girls, but my goal is going to be to get on the deck.
Individually, probably top 50, but placement goals probably at least, hopefully top 5 we can get that. That'd be cool.
In swimming news, the women's swim and dive team placed 7th overall at state in legendary coach Dick Markison's final year as head coach. In the 1-meter diving, sophomore Madison Shoppy placed 15th and sophomore Maya Clasby placed 25th. Cedar Falls finished 3rd in the 200-yard medley relay behind Sammy Hall, Olivia Clark, Megan Hackett, and Madison Hall. Freshman Ellie Shimp placed 25th in the 200-yard IM. Senior Madison Hall took 13th in the 50-yard freestyle. Senior Megan Hackett placed 3rd in the 100-yard butterfly as fellow senior Kaylee Valentine took home 20th. Freshman Grace Considine took 12th in the 500-yard freestyle. Cedar Falls' best finish of state came in the 200-yard freestyle relay, where they placed 2nd to Ames, behind the performances of Olivia Clark, Megan Hackett, Sammy Hall, and Madison Hall. Sophomore Sammy Hall placed 6th in the 100-yard backstroke. Sophomore Olivia Clark finished 10th in the 100-yard breaststroke. Lastly, the 400-yard freestyle relay placed 4th behind Megan Hackett, Sammy Hall, Madison Hall, and Olivia Clark. Congrats on a great season, girls. Now here's Shelby Gappa with a story on legendary coach Dick Markison.
Once in a blue moon, a community gets a high school coach that makes such an impact that it spans generations. This month, the Cedar Falls Community Schools said goodbye to such a coach as swim coach Richard Markison retired after 47 years. Markison came to Cedar Falls Schools in 1969 to coach the boys' swim team, and a year later started the girls' swim team. He is the only person to ever coach girls swimming for Cedar Falls High School. Starting in a small 20-yard pool with only 4 lanes, Markison grew the Cedar Falls swimming program to what it is today. While honoring him at the retirement party, it was mentioned that if he would have coached football with his winning percentage, he would have been worth millions, because Markison's winning percentage was 86% overall. He has 692 dual meet victories, has won 24 out of 25 MVC Conference championships, 9 girls state championships, 7 girls state runner-up teams, 5 boys state championships, 1 boys state runner-up team, become National Coach of the Year in 2005, and was inducted into the Iowa Girls High School Hall of Fame in 2014. His career has spanned generations, with many past swimmers sending their own children to swim under his coaching.
And my wife swam for him too, so yeah, it's been a long haul. We probably have more years, my wife, 2 boys, and myself than any other family here, but it's been great. And it was always good to know Dick was there, and that's one of the reasons why the boys wanted to swim so bad.
Here we are, 40 years later, look at all these people in the room of all different age ranges, and it's because we've had a coach for that period of time, and he's done a quality job for everybody. So for us to have our kids go up there, both my wife and I just sort of looked at each other and said, wow.
Past swimmers came together to honor the legendary coach and reminisce of some of their favorite memories.
So he'd go out and have a cigarette, and Coach Page was assistant coach, which coach didn't know anything about swimming, so we're supposed to do a 1,000-yard swim, and Paige was watching us, and so after about 3 laps we said, hey, we're done.
When discussing how greatly the swimming program has changed and grown over the years, Coach Markuson commented that he was always striving to get better with every accomplishment. Some milestones he didn't even know he made until going through all his achievements for his retirement party.
And I found out there was 4 years where we went double-double. That's never been done in Iowa. So that's a record in itself. Maybe for me, maybe the rest of the state doesn't know about it, but I do, and I thought, geez, that was great. You know?
During Coach Markuson's retirement party, he was presented with what he felt was his greatest honor and accomplishment.
And I never expected anything like that. You know, that's just probably the biggest honor that you could give a coach. I mean, you could tell me I got a little choked up about it because that's just the way I feel. I feel Cedar Falls has given me so much. You know, I didn't deserve that. Just being part of the system and being around the kids in Cedar Falls and the parents, I mean, they're just outstanding. I mean, what else could you want, you know? I did everything I wanted. I got all the coaching honors, I got national honors and state honors and all that stuff, but when it comes right down to it, you know, it's the naming the pool for me, you know, it's probably the biggest honor I could have possibly gotten.
Markuson left a lasting impact to everyone he coached over his 47 years at Cedar Falls.
I think if we were to grab him right now and say, you know, tell me about, you know, some of the kids you remember, and yeah, you remember the All-Americans, you remember the, you know, like his first state championship team, etc. But every kid that walked in here, he remembers. And they remember him because he never gave up on them. Whether you were in the fast lane or the slow lane, whether you swam JV your entire career, he would still remember them. And he still coached them and he still cared about them. He didn't spend all of his time just with the good kids. He spent his time with every kid.
It's always been in all of the back of our minds, like thinking like this is the last one, like we have to make it great for Markuson with every single meet that we've had.
Though Dick Markuson has retired from coaching, don't be surprised to find him at swim meets cheering on the student athletes swimming at the Coach Markuson pool. Reporting for Cedar Falls Community Television, I'm Shelby Gappa.
Thanks for joining us on Sports Talk. I'm AC Glassford. Join us next time as we'll head to state volleyball and give you a full season recap. Join us then.